When you think about schools in Louisiana, what makes you so proud to serve in this position?
Oh, I love that question. When I think about schools in Louisiana, I think about myself as a elementary student going to Weaver Elementary in Natchitoches, Louisiana, where my teachers didn't make me feel like I was a smart black girl. They just made me feel like I was smart, and they empowered a love of reading within me. And so when I moved to this entire new place, I didn't go into this new state scared of learning. I went into it confident. Ended up reading over 300 books as a third grader, and I wouldn't have had that experience if it wasn't for my Head Start experience in Natchitoches, if it wasn't for me having a great kindergarten and first grade and second grade teacher who instilled values and beliefs within me to be able to go and be confident. Schools in Louisiana, every child should be able to have that experience where they feel empowered and confident to be the best version of themselves.
When people think of schools in Louisiana, we often get a bad rep for like what's happening from an educational opportunity standpoint. We're normally 49 out of 50 as it relates to numbers, as it relates to ratings, as it relates to systems. But the reality is that there are a lot of great things happening in education in Louisiana. It's just pockets of success. Oftentimes, students who have been historically underrepresented continue to be marginalized in the education space. So our job is really to advocate to ensure that we create additional opportunity and access points for those students.
My flag is in Spirit flag, and United States of America. To the blood for resistance, one nation under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all.
So our culture, it's very inviting. You walk around, you see smiles all over campus. I think because we're starting off as a little small campus, everyone knows everyone. And so it allows us to really lean on each other.
A genuine welcome saying, hey, you're not at school, you're at Discovery. We say that to make sure that we do not create anxiety, we create an environment that is welcoming.
Our academic excellence has been part of the attraction to our school. We're happy to say that we've been an A and B rated school since the inception of Discovery. By definition, we're charter schools, and by definition, charter schools respond to the need of the community.
Discovery School has been around 11 years, and in the 10th year, we were very fortunate to expand here to the Baton Rouge area. With that, we're the second Ochsner Partnership School. Our first partnership school was Dr. John Ochsner Discovery, and now we're here at Baton Rouge Ochsner Discovery Health Science Academy.
I want to be a doctor when I grow up. My favorite teacher is definitely Miss Houston.
I would say what makes it more unique is just the ability to have the autonomy in my own class to know that I can address whatever is needed and make those adjustments as needed for the benefits of the kid.
The way we introduce science and STEM at early ages is through exploratory learning. We wrap health sciences across every curriculum. We're a 26-to-1 teacher-student ratio. Pre-K, 4, kindergarten, and first grade, we have a teacher and co-teacher inside the classroom.
For me, the greatest benefit for a smaller setting is just being able to really tailor to everyone's needs. We know they learn differently, and so having that smaller classroom setting allows me to be able to really address my students and learn them more and then tailor their learning experience to that.
We're an option for families, and any student that comes through the door, it's our job to make sure that every student that walks through the door is getting all of their buckets full within our campus.
It's important to introduce students at an early age to various career opportunities because at early ages, kids learn more. Okay, so they're like sponges and they soak up information. So the more that we let them know that's out there in the world for them to be, the more likely they're to choose a variety of careers.
Park Elementary is now Park Medical Career Academy. We were doing the traditional things. We were doing arts integration. We were doing project-based learning, but nothing was giving us the growth and the gain and the push that we needed to get to that next level. And since we've become a medical focused school, we've seen the culture and the climate of the faculty, staff, and students change.
Park Medical Academy starts at pre-K, and after next year, it will go up to 8th grade. The kids are learning so many new things and exploring so many new opportunities, and also they're seeing themselves in the healthcare field. They're seeing, oh, I can do that.
Baton Rouge General was brought on at the very beginning, They've been working alongside of us to ensure that the instruction reaches the next level, that students are exposed to the hospital in all aspects. It's not just, we know doctors, nurses, but what about the respiratory staff? What about the accounting department? What about the labs with the life-size microscopes that students get to manipulate each and every day? So they are exposing them to those type of things that students would normally have the opportunity to experience. So that has been very, very good for the students to see it, to be it, to manipulate it, so they can take their expectations to new heights.
Well, since healthcare is not just being a nurse or a doctor, we talked to them about the hospital being a small city. They're called clinical days, where the students can come on campus. We have 3 campuses. We have one at Mid-City, Bluebonnet, and Ascension. And so where they're able to come on campus, and some of our staff create stations where they can have hands-on activities to experience the different careers.
When we first moved into Park, the students didn't know what it was. They would look outside at the playground and say, well, can we go to that park? It's not a park, that's actually your playground. So it makes them feel that they matter. It makes them feel valued. This belongs to them. This is your school. This is your house. So what is it going to look like when people come into your house?
If you can describe Thrive in one word,
It's life-changing, one word.
Our goal at Thrive is to make sure that the students that come here have all of the opportunities that our own personal children have.
So we have a very close-knit staff. It's about 24 teachers on campus. The relationships we have with the kids are like none other. Whatever these kids need to be successful, we provide that for them.
Before students can worry about math, English, social studies, anything, we need to make sure that they have running water, that they're able to eat at home, that they can be safe.
But my freshman year, I attended a much larger school. I wasn't able to focus. Just coming to Thrive, it put me in a smaller class environment where I was able to learn more.
In class, we have a 15-to-1 ratio with students. So that gets teachers to get to know the students better.
As the co-residential director, it's real important for me to be able to tell all our parents that, hey, your kid is safe 24 hours a day. We can attack the kid holistically, so emotionally, socially.
My dorm life experience, making us take out the trash, do the dishes, make sure our bed's clean. Just simple stuff like that for when we have to get out into the real world and actually take care of our own house.
You learn how to cook for yourself, do your own laundry.
We were almost an F when we got here, and now we're a C school, and we're pushing for that B and then ultimately that A. So I think that's important to highlight.
In 2020, Thrive Academy we were recognized by the Louisiana Department of Education for the percentage of minority students that we graduate having already earned college credit before they graduate high school.
So we have a cohort of kids right now that go to BRCC, and so we actually have some students that will leave us with an associate's degree, which I'm just so proud of because that's such a big deal.
There are only 20% of schools in the state of Louisiana grew in that COVID year. Thrive Academy was one of those 20% of schools. We're in the top 23% of teachers in the state of Louisiana. That's all props to our residential staff and our wonderful administrators.
And I don't think you can find it anywhere else, I would say, like in the United States, the way we are able to interact with our kids and really just love on them and just help them become the best versions of themselves.
I love my principal. He is amazing. Principal Harrison is like the best principal I had. Like, we have a lot of events, and it's all because of Principal Harrison. Like, we do a lot of fun things.
It's just not a career. It's a passion and it's a ministry. We come here every day to impact and change the lives of our students. And if we don't do that, I failed. We failed because these children we are saving lives here each and every day that we come on this campus.
Our parents are so vital to the success of our school. And schools that experience a lot of success, it's because they have that parental involvement piece. We've created a space for kids where they're getting experiences that maybe they won't get outside of our school.
Miss Hill, my current teacher now, Miss Hill gets us. She does a lot of things that most teachers don't do.
I think back to a time when I was a child and the community worked together to holistically meet the needs of the children in that community. I felt like I could not do it by myself. No way it could be possible. We went from having 2 community partners when I arrived here to now we have about 20.
My kids go to this school. I have 2 babies here. They go to the clinic. I take my babies to the clinic, and it helps me because I don't have to take off work. And so I can run them in there real quick. Hey, Ms. Rachel, can you check them out real quick?
We are a fully functioning physician's office, so we have everything that your pediatrician's office would have. We are able to do anything that a physician's clinic can do, and if they need like extra care, then we know when to send them out.
Here we want to make sure that holistically we are addressing the child's need. When the child comes and they are out of uniform, or they say, well, I don't have anything to wear, then we provide them with those things. Oral care is so important. We adopted the Miles for Smiles dentistry service, mobile dentistry service for our students because the need is so great here in our community.
Say for instance, a stomach ache. A stomach ache can mean a multitude of things. It can mean they didn't eat breakfast, which we have a ton of snacks that we hand out all the time. It could also mean they have strep throat, and we can run a test and call in prescriptions and call their parent. But it can also mean that they're nervous. Stomach ache is one of the biggest things about kids being anxious, and there's a lot of things for these children in these underserved areas to be anxious about.
All 3 of my children have come through this school. I have 3 kids, and 2 of my children were in a magnet school, and I pulled them out and brought them here. That's how much I believed in what we're doing here.
We had a student here that had went home, and the student parent was not there, and the student came back here. And I came to the school, and I asked the student, why did he come back to this school? And he said, it's a safe haven. They know that they are always safe, and the love is here, that we care about them. We have gotten away from that in the school system. We think we only going to educate our students, and that's it. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. But you need to couple that with love and compassion, and that changes lives.
I'll rate this school a 10. Like, what's bad about this school? Nothing. I love this school.
Mentorship, the mothership as we call it, is here in downtown Baton Rouge. And so it gave children from all across the parish an opportunity to get a STEAM-focused education. So we obviously focus on science, technology, engineering, mathematics. We also have this arts component to it.
I say that it is really important to have talent because it shows who you really are and how you can show the world what you really mean. Our school is really good at expressing their main talents, which is art. We do draw, we do paint murals, as you can see on the ceilings. We do sketch a lot if you went to our art class. We do different types of art styles.
They get the unique experience of being located in downtown, but they also get the benefit of a great STEAM education and get immersed in the sciences, in mathematics, but also in the arts.
For me, mentorship, it feels different. It's like a whole nother school. They will support wherever you go. They have grown me to become a leader. They have led me to become a straight-A student.
So we looked at, in 2019, actually serving the community at a greater level. One, we decided we wanted to open a legal academy because of our work with the Law Center, but 2, we wanted to really leverage the work with the Air Force Junior ROTC program, and we wanted to do it in communities that needed us most. We decided, let's create an entire school focused on aviation. So now we have kids that have only seen airplanes in the air. Now they actually literally go to school, at a school on an airport, with a 10,000 square foot hangar where aircraft literally taxi in and out of the school. You know, we often get asked whether our schools are private schools. Families would spend thousands of dollars to get this sort of experience and education, get this for free. They are being prepared not just for the jobs that exist today, but for jobs that have not yet been created. In fact, they will create some of those jobs for the future. So I see our children on the forefront of innovation, not just 10 years from now, but 30 years, 40 years, 50 years from now.
In 14 years of early childhood, I've experienced many different schools. I choose Southern Lab to be the best experience that I've had thus far because of how intentional it is when it comes to educating our kids. We have small group settings, the parents are very involved with their kids, and we're able to move forward. Because the kids are engaged, the parents are engaged, it's a family thing, and it keeps the tradition going, as well as the progress of the kids' academic success.
Well, the most phenomenal thing about the Southern University Laboratory School is the family feel. We provide a loving, nurturing environment where our students can flourish academically, athletically, and just feel like they're at home. Our students have the ability to attend this institution from pre-K all the way to their PhD. And so there are not many institutions in the world where a student can be on one campus for that long. We've been here 101 years, and we're part of the State University system, the 5 campuses. We work on the SUBR, State University of Baton Rouge. The tradition of this school goes back for the entirety of the school for those 100 years. We've produced doctors, lawyers, astronauts, teachers, powerful attorneys, politicians, you name it, they've walked these halls.
I'll just say I met many great friends, and I have lots of memories of just the culture itself here at Southern Lab. I had a lot of great teachers. Those teachers impacted my life so much that it encouraged me to want to be a teacher. And I was able to come back here, privileged and honored to come back here to Southern Lab and actually teach.
Our students know how to compete in the classroom, they know how to compete on the playing surface, because at the end of the day, they have to be able to compete in the real world. Once they cross 129 Swan Street, being a champion is what we want our students to be.
The program for kindergarten is growing here, and I'm happy to say that I'm a part of the reason why it's growing.
There's this stereotype that there has to be a certain type of education for Black and brown students, especially if you live on a certain side of town. And I think what's important about choice in this instance and these schools that we are spotlighting is that it shows that no matter where you're from, no matter what zip code, or no matter what hue your skin is, you deserve to have an equitable education.
I don't think that because of your circumstances that you happen to be born in a wealthy family or you happen to live in a certain part of town that you get the best of what education has.
I cannot wait to see increased enrollment, more smiling faces, more energy, more excitement, more impact.
Education at its best, one child at a time, and that's holistically working with a child, meeting the needs of the child.
We're exposing them to careers that have not yet been created. So it's okay right now if they don't know what they want to be, because it hasn't been created yet. They may even create the career that they're actually going to have later.
The great thing about having school choices and having them available is that it opens up the marketplace for education. And the fact of the matter is that the quality of the education, the educational experiences that you have will open the door for children to do whatever.
If you want to be able to go to a school that has amazing programs like Bethune, or that has a healthcare focus like Park, or that has a boarding school like Thrive, you have the opportunity to be able to do that, and every child should be able to choose where they want to go and be successful when they go there.
The schools that we are highlighting today have done a really good job of giving access to a variety of opportunities, specifically for students of color. So you see traditional public schools, you see charter public schools, you see laboratory schools, you see schools that are like neighborhood community schools. So I think the complexity of education is that in order for us to properly educate kids, we have to have variation. And so these schools provide their variation, and they provide access points to students in order for them to reach their full academic potential.
In the early 1900s, African Americans, the profession of choice, the profession that they had only options to would be educators.
Our teachers have to work so much harder. And I think that part, it gives me chills just saying that they have to work so much harder.
If the decision is about kids, and if it's mission driven, then it's a yes from us.
Every kid deserves to have champions. Every kid deserves to have people that love them. Every kid having the love that our kids at Thrive Academy have.
Oh, what does it mean to me to be an educator? It means that I have actually made a difference. But this has met and exceeded my expectations for growing children. So not just growing children, but growing educators as well. And we see the result in our data. So it means that I am making a difference.
It's more important that we in this community offer those experiences, those opportunities, so that children can fulfill their potential.
As a former educator, I believe it's super important to be able to go into a space where educators feel safe. Internal efficacy for educators is probably one of the most important things to make sure that students are thriving and have positive outcomes.
My mission is clear. Education saved my life. And so I want every student, no matter the color of their skin, no matter their socioeconomic background and status, to have the opportunity to reach their greatest heights through education.
Not only should students have a great choice, but educators should also be able to go into buildings where they are supported, where the culture is and where their culture is valued, where their experiences, whether it's, you know, the best teacher or a first-year teacher, they can still get the tools that they need to be able to be successful.
Education is every child's right, and they should have access to the type of education that will propel them to the next level. It allowed me to lift myself out of poverty. It allowed me to show a different trajectory for my family, coming from a single parent background. So for me, if education can be a pathway to the next level or the next opportunity for every child, that's my hope.
In the same way we celebrate these schools for the choices they have for students, we also celebrate them for the spaces they provide for their teachers and staff.